Hi students, welcome to the Plutus Project-Based Learning 2023. Thanks for watching this video. In the Model 103, the question that we want to answer is, what will you learn in PPBL 2023? To start building that answer, we are going to see in this lesson 103, that one, how to make a contribution to an open source project using it. So, at the end of this lesson, you will say to yourself, I can make a contribution to an open source project using it. In general terms, this lesson is an introduction to contributing to a project via Git. The general steps are: first, create a fork; second, clone a repository locally. This is an optional step, but optional just for the making of your assignment of in this lesson, because you can accomplish your assignment without cloning a repository in your machine. However, in your day-to-day life as a developer, you will have to deal with the dynamics that take place in this step. So, we are going to check it. Third, make changes. And fourth, and finally, submit a merge request. So, let's start. First, create a fork. You are here in the Gimbal Apps repository. Gimbal Apps. You go here and select fork. That option will take you to this window called fork project. You go here to this field called project URL. In this menu, select a namespace. You select this your username, and finally you click here in fork project. That action will take you to your own fork of the Gimbal Apps repository. Fork from Gimbal Apps, etc., etc. Okay. 2. Clone a repository locally. Okay, you are here in your repository, in your fork. Go here and clone the repository, selecting this option, clone with HTTPS. Copy here. After that, you have to open a new terminal in your machine. I'm here, my terminal. So I go to my root repository. After that, I execute this command, git clone, and paste this URL. And if I check all the files in my root, I can see the repository. I generate this error because I already have the repo in my machine. Okay. Next, I open the repository. CD. At this point, you will have your own copy of the Gimbal Apps repository on your machine. This means that you could do whatever you want with this copy without the fear of damaging the Gimbal Apps original repository. So next, you have to add the original repository, in this case the Gimbal Apps repository, as a remote. You do that with this command, git remote add upstream, and you have to paste the URL of the Gimbal Apps repository. You can go to the original repository, the Gimbal Apps repository, and paste and copy all this URL. With that, you go back to the terminal and paste the URL. and enter. That's it. Again, I obtain this error because I already have the repo in the machine. This action, git remote upstream, establish a connection between the Gimbal apps repo and your fork. This connection is key to make possible many interactions between both repositories. After that, I execute this command, git branch. This command lets you see how many branches you have currently in your project. In this moment, you should have only one, the main branch. Although you can do whatever you want with this copy of the repository, you could want to treat your copy with the same care that you treat the Gimbal apps repo. So let's create a new branch. That branch will be your working branch. You do that with this command, git checkout dash b, and you assign the name that you want. In my case, I assign this name called previously working branch. In my case, this branch already exists in my machine. So you can select the name that you want, and git switches me directly to my new branch. In this case, working branch. And finally, I have to execute this command, code space that command open my VS Code in the machine. If you don't have yet an environment installed in your machine, like for example VS Code, the usual suspect, the usual election is VS Code, is Visual Studio Code. So if you don't have yet a development environment installed in your machine, you simply can go to internet and search to your web browser and search Visual Studio Code. In the Visual Studio page, you simply select your machine. The page automatically selects the setup of your machine. In my case, is Windows. I simply go and download, and I installed the VS Code like any other software in the world. After that, I'm gonna stop this. I open my Visual Studio. In this case, this is my visual. Okay, I open my visual, and you have to go to these extensions, this icon, this extensions icon, and install this an extension called remote development. This extension. So you go here and you select install, I already had I already have installed that extension. When all the process uh, finish, you you can see here you will see here this icon, this icon that indicates that you already can execute this command code space that and open the VS Code from your terminal. And that's it. 3. Make changes. We are going to explore two methods. One, using your local environment. This case applies if you have a Visual Studio Code or any other development environment installed in your machine. The second method is directly from GitLab without using any local environment. The basic routine, and this is in relation to the assignment that you have to accomplish in this lesson. The basic routine is create a copy of a file, in this case a file called template.json. The second step is add details to that new JSON file. And finally, you save your work. Create, add details, and save your work. That's the routine. So, first, let's explore the first method, using your local environment. Okay, I'm here in my VS Code, and in my browser, I have two pages open. One is Cardano's code in preprod, and I want to copy. I want to paste here in this explorer. This is a policy ID. This policy ID was used to generate all the PPBL 2023 tokens. Search, and your task here is search in this list, in this long list. You have to search the name of your token. So I'm gonna search my token. I don't see here my token. I go to the list that deploy all the tokens. Here, no, next. Here. This is my token, 100 PPBL 2023, Pavonsep. Okay, I copy the name. Next, I go to this other page. This is a string to hex converter. I go here and paste the name of my token, clicking convert, and this web page, this service generates this hexadecimal piece of data. I copy this hex and I go to my VS Code, and here you have to start the elaboration of your assignation. So first you have to generate a new file, a new JSON file. Then that JSON file you have to call it with this. You have to use this hex to name your new JSON file. Okay, you go here in mappings, you go here and you can say new file. You first write you have to write first that JSON. You move, after that, you move your cursor to your cursor to the left, and Control V to paste your hex. And voila, you have here your new file with your new JSON file with your hex, and that hex is the representation, hexadecimal representation of the name of your PPBL token. Okay, next you have to go here to this file called template.json and copy all this content because it's a template. Control A, after that Control C. After that you go to your new JSON file and paste all the content. Okay, save your work, and next you have to take this structure, this data structure, and fill it based on this example. You have a subject, an alias, and a list to keep data, contact data, a URL, a bio, short bio, and goals in general. So this is your example, and this is your JSON file. So you have to start working on that. Taking this file as an example, as a guide. So I'm gonna write some data in a random way. CD. Okay. After that, I go here, save my work. After that, I go here to this icon, this source control. Click here, and in this is my in this area called changes. I go here and click in this plus sign. After that, I go here, and I'm gonna make my commit. So first, I have to write a message, a reference, a message that be a reference to an informative reference to this commit. Okay, for example, I create a new JSON file. Commit. After that, click in sync changes. My username, you have to go to in your GitLab. Here in GitLab, this is your username. My username is Pavon __ Sep. Enter. My password is my personal. If you go here to your GitLab account, in edit profile, in this section called access tokens, in section you can generate a personal access token. Following these steps, you can, for example, you can here write a name, assign a name, token 1, a date, expiration date. For example, I don't know, I want that token expires in September, for example. I select all the scopes that I want to assign to this token, to that token. And finally, click on Create Personal Access Token. That token will be after you make click in that in this button. This GitLab generates a token, and it's a long string, a long combination of letters and numbers. And you have once you have this token, that token, you go here and paste that token in this section. Okay, you go here and paste the token, the access token, and enter. And remember these changes. If you go to your fork, this is my fork. This is my fork of the Gimbal Labs repository. I go here to my temporary branch. This is the branch that I create for working in my fork. If I go here to mappings, I can see here my new file with my new data. Okay. So as you can see here, I have in this JSON file, I have the changes. But if I switch to the main branch, and I go to mappings again, I don't see nor my JSON file. I don't see my JSON file, nor the changes that I made in the past. So, but if I change again, if I switch again to my temporary branch, I can see my JSON file with my changes. So that indicates that I have to take the changes that I made in my temporary branch and upload those changes to the main branch, to the main branch of my fork. I'm talking about my fork, not the Gimbal Labs repository, just my repo. Okay, I have to upload the changes from my temporary to my main branch. How can I do that? I go to my VS Code and go to this here terminal, a new terminal. I have to open a new terminal in VS Code. Go here and I execute the command git checkout main okay sorry git checkout main. Okay, if I check the branch, I can see that I have in this moment thanks to this command, I can see that I have in the main branch. Okay, next command. I'm going to merge my temporary branch, the changes in my temporary branch, to I'm gonna merge my temporary branch with my main branch. For that, I execute this command, merge working branch. Sorry, merge in my case is not working branch, is temporary branch. Okay, if Git shows you this screen, you simply execute Control X. That's it. And after that, finally, you execute the command git push. And here you can see once again this little screen pops up. So again, you have to provide your the username, your GitLab's username. One step in my case, and in my case, I have to provide here my access token, my GitLab access token. So I paste. And that's all. So in this point, I can go to my repository, my fork. I can go to my fork. I can refresh, and this is my temporary branch. But I go here to my main, and I find the in the folder mappings. In the folder mappings, I can find my own JSON file with my data. So, and if I switch to my temporary branch, that branch have the JSON file, my JSON file, and my data as well. Okay. Method 2, directly from GitLab. Okay, you are here in the main branch of your fork, your Gimbal apps fork. Okay, and you go here to this option, Web ID. If you click here, you can see the options, but by default, this is the option that GitLab puts here. Okay, Web ID, click. And as you can see, this is a version quite similar to the VS Code that you can install in your own machine. You have here the same files, mappings with the template.json and with the template and with your example. Template and example. Okay, at this point, you have to do the same things that you do in the method number 1. You have to go to Cardano scan, paste the policy ID, and search your token's name and copy the name. After that, you go to this string to hex converter tool, and you paste in this area your token's name, click on convert, and you go and and you copy the hex generated by these two. After that, you go back to the IDE in your web browser, and in the same way that you did it in the method one with the VS Code in your machine, you go here, click here, and new file. You write first JSON, move your cursor to the left, Control B to paste the hex, and enter. And that's it. You have here your that JSON file, your own JSON file, and you have here the example file and the template file. So once again, you go here, Control A to copy all the content of the template.json file, and you go here to your new JSON file, paste, Control V, and you take as an example, as a guide, this file. For example, in this subject field, you can see that the name of the file and the subject, this subject string, are equal. So you can extract some conclusions about that, about how you have, about what you have to paste, or what data you have to assign in this field. So after that, okay, I'm gonna assign some random data. URL, sorry, and goals. Okay, fine. Go here and file, save. Next, you go to the source control icon, click, write here succinct, but a message that make reference to the commit that you are doing in this moment. I create the JSON file. Next, click in this button, commit and push. You have here a little screen pops up, and you have two options. Yes, commit a new branch. No, use the current branch main. You have to select, you have to choose this no, the no option, and that's it. That's all. If you go back to your repo, to your fork, and refresh, you can see in the mappings folder that you can see your file, your JSON file, and you can see your changes. Remember, CDE XXX, SSS, and AAA. And that's it. Without the need of install a VS Code in your machine. It's an alternative, a valid alternative to get your assignment done. Okay. Finally, submit a merge request. Okay. Locate it in your repo at GitLab, in your fork. You go here, merge request, go here, new merge request. You have here two areas, source branch and target branch. You select here, select source branch, the main branch. The source branch is your fork, your repository. Pavon underscore sep, PPBL 2023 token registry. Okay. The target branch is the Gimbal Labs repo, the original Gimbal Labs repo. You go here and select main. Go here to this button, compare branches, and continue. Here, you have to write a title. This title could be, for example, my assignation from lesson 103.1. Okay, and after that, you go here and click create merge request. And that's it. That's all. Okay, thanks for watching this video and keep exploring.